It's not actually paranoia. We do see cases where people will get onto your computer and activate your camera and will look at what you're doing. We see that quite a lot actually, not just on your computer, even on your home cameras. You know, you might have baby monitors or security cameras in your home.
That's so weird.
Hackers can break into those and can actually see the stream of video from inside your home. So it's not really paranoia at all. You probably should.
Literally, like the FBI is watching me, they're not really watching me.
And you definitely should be concerned about the monitors that you have in your home. Are they secure? And checking online to see has there been any hacks published in relation to that type of equipment. For Mark Zuckerberg, obviously he has a lot more to lose than most people. So for him to be that level of paranoid is probably quite legitimate. For the ordinary person on the street, you know, they probably don't have as much, you're not as valuable or have as much to lose as Mark Zuckerberg. So they may not need to be as worried about it. You know, Mark Zuckerberg is the type of person that would probably be targeted for business reasons or even from other governments to understand what he's doing, where he wants to go.
It's just a nerd who got rich. Honestly, my idol.
Spread very, very widely, infect lots of computers, and not just Windows machines, but Macs as well. And they do all sorts of things. They take screenshots of your of what's going on. We've had cases where the people arrested actually and have gone to prison for taking pictures of people in their bedroom and then blackmailing them with that information. You know,
That really scares me. It's like Black Mirror.
And try to get them to send more photographs. So it's not like unheard of. It's definitely a real thing.
Remember Black Mirror? Yeah. When the guy that wanks to child porn? Yeah. And he's left his... I don't watch Black Mirror that often. No. It's a bit of a deep episode, yeah. Like the guy that wanks to child porn, and he's got his like laptop camera. He's not like sellotaped over it. And then they've sent him emails of, we just saw what you did, pictures of him wanking, and then screenshots of his laptop, what he was wanking to, and then he gets blackmailed with another person that did the same thing, and then
Black Mirror does Black Mirror.
Yeah, Black Mirror.
Yeah. One evening when I was on my laptop and like the LED light came on by the camera.
Yeah.
And even though I'm just like, it's probably just a background process running, like, cool. There's that niggling little thing that was like,
What if?
Imagine like you're just having sex and someone's watching you have sex with your camera. Like, is that not?
It's the equivalent of.
It's the equivalent of having someone just standing in the corner.
Literally.
I just watch. I just doing
watching
this.
you. Yeah.
We had a virus on our like family computer in the living room, and it was through me going on LimeWire. It's like it was me, but like it was this like virus, and every time you press on Internet Explorer, it redirected you to a bestiality porn site. It was so bad.
Hey, you looking off your shit there, mate.
They'll find out. They'll find out he's frozen. They'll find out he's the real frozen.
no, you didn't.
Oh,
There we go.
we'll get there.
We
We
will.
will.
Hey man. Hey,
Roll the next one.
Yeah, roll the next one.
Still.
It's not all good news this week, because a paper in last week's issue of the journal Nature reports that someone somewhere in the world apparently decided that the ozone layer is overrated and has been releasing alarming amounts of ozone-damaging CFCs into the atmosphere for the last few years. CFC is short for chlorofluorocarbon, a huge class of molecules that, as the name implies, contain chlorine, fluorine, and carbon. They were invented in the 1920s, and at first they seem perfectly inert, which made them ideal for applications where you don't want chemical reactions. Firefighting, pressurizing hairspray, cooling refrigerators, you name it. But when CFCs reach the upper atmosphere, they're broken down by ultraviolet light, creating super reactive pieces. And those pieces eat away at our ozone layer, which is bad because that layer blocks a lot of harmful radiation before it reaches the ground and does terrible stuff like cause cancer in people or harm crops. CFCs are also powerful greenhouse gases that trap thousands of times more heat than carbon dioxide. So it turns out they're not something you want in the atmosphere. Which is why, in 1987, countries worldwide signed the Montreal Protocol, promising to phase out CFCs over time and switch to less destructive molecules. Since then, atmospheric CFC concentrations have gradually dropped, while the ozone layer has gradually recovered. But a new paper published last week reports that since about 2012, scientists have detected far more CFCs in the atmosphere than there should be, about 13 million kilograms more. Concentrations concentrations are still dropping worldwide, but not as much as they should be, which is significantly slowing the progress of the last few decades. And maybe unsurprisingly, no one is taking credit. The paper's authors have been monitoring the amount of CFCs in the atmosphere for a long time, mostly by catching a bunch of air every once in a while and seeing what kinds of molecules react with what's in the air. And they noticed that around 2012, the rate of decline of CFCs slowed, suggesting a 25% increase in emissions. They didn't just automatically accuse people of violating the Montreal Protocol, though. They considered other potential sources of CFC before concluding that someone is making them.
This is why I like this rather than other conspiracy theories. They didn't just jump to conclusions. They tested other hypotheses, and this is the only likely outcome.
Had changed. Or if CFCs were trapped in ice that's melting because of climate change. But there's so much unexpected CFCs that demolished buildings can't explain things. So the scientists had to conclude that humans are making and releasing new CFCs again in defiance of the Montreal Protocol. But air in the atmosphere is so thoroughly mixed that right now no one can say where that CFC-11 is coming from. For now, all we can say confidently is that someone is making new CFCs again, despite how harmful we know they are. If you're watching, stop. And if you're not releasing new CFCs into the atmosphere, thank you for that and for watching SciShow.
I know it is. It's fucking fee farting.
My God, it actually really could be.
CFC. I'm so sorry.
CFC.
We don't know where it's coming from, and if we don't find out, then more companies will probably try and produce them as well, because I think they're pretty cheap to produce.
Yeah.
You know, from a business point of view, like, and so do you, that the point of a business is not to help people, it's to make money for yourself and the business and to get forward. So if putting out more emissions out there means you getting more money, or you putting out less emissions means you getting less money, which one's the businessman going to go for?
But it's just trying to reduce costs, which is what capitalism does to a society.
If the atmosphere just suddenly disappeared, would we just like get sucked out into space?
I hope so.
Alright. Yours?
What?
Hey, what's up you guys? Yes, welcome to another conspiracy theory video. And of course, I'm going to talk about the theory that you have all been talking about for the last week, and that is the theory that Avril Lavigne is really dead. For some reason, it's making a comeback. People are freaking out because they think that the Avril Lavigne that we know today is actually Melissa Vandella. Alright, so here's how the story goes. Basically, back in 2002, Avril Lavigne was blowing up, and she wasn't the type that enjoyed the paparazzi or the red carpets, so her record label hired a lookalike that would do all of those things for her, Melissa Vandella. Now this is not uncommon. A lot of celebrities have lookalikes that are employed by them. And if they want to fool the paparazzi, they'll send their lookalike somewhere, and then the paparazzi follows them. So the idea that...
Are they two separate people?
Surely not.
Isn't shocking. Then the story takes...
Shane, you're lying.
In 2003, Avril Lavigne's grandfather died, and she went into a severe depression. She even broke down in tears on stage during one of her concerts.
I just want to say that this show tonight goes out to my grandpa, who passed away today.
Avril.
Carry on doing the show.
Oh, buddy.
After that, Avril Lavigne killed herself. Now this is when Avril Lavigne...
That's dark.
So the theory is that the record label did not want that to go away, so they had Melissa step in and take over. So let me give you an example. Here's a clip of her performing a song in 2003.
Friends, they already know.
She was garbage. Yeah, she's bad.
It's kind of a raspy voice, it's a little deep. Well, here she is performing just a few years later.
He wanted her, she never died. The secret is she wanted him as well.
Yeah, the voice is clearly
It got better.
feminine. It was just a lot different than it used to be. But it wasn't just her performances that changed, it was her interviews. Just check out this clip from 2002.
If you want to know what I think that I think that I'm just a rock chick. And I like to rock out.
Rock out.
So, dead or alive? Alive is just weird now.
She had a thing, a rebrand.
Yeah. The thing is, Miley Cyrus has done that too. Miley Cyrus had the whole phase of
Miley Cyrus had like 3-4 different rebrands in her career.
Yeah, she's just changed. She was a teen-ish star.
Big man thing. She had hits.
No, she did. Skater Boy.
It was a skater boy. It's a skater boy.
Yeah, that's the one. Hey, one more time.
I would like the Avril Lavigne. Someone was like, right, I'll pay you
to change your whole face and be Avril Lavigne, I'd be like, yep.
I mean, your whole life's just stripped away from you. Like, if you have family and friends,
what have I got that's keeping me here? Someone says be Avril Lavigne, I'd be like, I'm off.
From what I heard there, complete garbage. Utter garbage.
Take me by the hand, take me somewhere new. I don't know who you are, but Where did that come from?